Okay, so here's a real quick video just to explain what I think we want to try to do for the playoffs. Basically, when we played Montini, we'd set up in this sort of box formation, and they were just, they're too good, they're too athletic. Even when we try to run blue or the back cuts worked a couple times, but we had a really hard time breaking free from them. And then we always just had kind of a jam up down here along the blocks and in the middle because we never a lot of times kids we have at the 4 and 5 just don't really move well, and they just kind of tend to be static. So we just really couldn't get any penetration. And it was pretty bad. I mean, we tried running clear, but then we didn't get the movement back, and their on-ball defense on the one was just good enough. We couldn't just get around them. So we really need to come up with, at least I think we need to come up with something that's has more motion, better spacing, and more off-ball motion, but isn't too complicated. So here's what I'm thinking. I think that they can do this if we really drill it this week in practice. So instead of starting in the box, we'll move the 4 and the 5 out to the wings. We'll move the 2 and 3 down to the blocks. Right. So that gives the one a lot of space, first of all, to operate. And then what we want the one to do is work their way down to the free throw line. So the whole point is we don't need the one to go, shooting around the defender. We tend to rush, they tend to try to cross over and get past the girl and we get stolen or lose the ball. In this case, we just want to teach them to protect the ball, just kind of back, move their way down to the free throw line. We actually hope they're playing good defense and they're staying behind because we're not really trying to get to the hoop. What we're trying to do is get to the free throw. When we get to the free throw, that's the trigger for the 2 and the 3 to pop out, right? What we want to do is we want to pass the ball out to the 2 or the 3, okay, and then have the one switch places with the wing on the ball side, okay? Then we want to try to feed the ball back to the 4. When the ball goes into the middle, these corners here are cutting to the blocks. We're turning, it looks like you're getting your text here. Okay. All right. We're turning and looking for the pass here. If it's not open, this is on my iPad, so it's catching up with the text. Um, if it's open, then obviously we're going to pass for the shot. If not, we're going to pass back out. They're going to return, and then we trade places with the ball side wing again. Right? Then we try to pass back in. We pivot, look for the pass. Not there. Kick it out. Pass. Switch. So the 1, 4, and 5 are always switching in this triangle. The 2 and 3 basically stay static. We might have to teach them to kind of move a little bit just to get open. Um, but really, that's it. It's a pass in, it's a look for the pass. If not, it's back out, switch in, out, pass. Right. So the key to this would be fast ball movement, right? So the 4 has to learn to, you get the pass, you're immediately pivoting and looking low, right? The 1s and the 5s have to be keying off of that 4 when they pivot or cutting, right? And then if they're not open, they're not waiting, they're pivoting back. And ideally, they're looking to reverse motion, but if they can go either way, it doesn't matter. They can pass, they can just switch on the same ball side, same thing, boom. So that would be the ideal situation. I think if we just keep ball movement with the spacing, girls are going to get lost. We don't even have to worry about screens. We don't have to worry about anything fancy. The girls just have to focus on the movement and paying attention to the ball and protecting the ball. Obviously, the other thing is that if at any point, we get the ball out here, for example, and the defender's up in their face, preventing a good pass, they haven't used their dribble, so they can just rainbow and go, right? And that goes for anywhere. We get in here, except for maybe that spot, actually. We get down here for some reason, they're in our face, we rainbow and go. But mainly the 2s and 3s, in the game before, they were stepping back and letting us pass, right? So that's why I put it in. But if they do get up in our face, we just rainbow and go. So that's what I'm thinking. Alternatively, um, if they can't get this motion, we can still set up the same way and we can run, blue out of that, right? So we can move it in, we can run blue up, down, and basically run the same stuff. The problem is when we do this, these kids tend to be really static. Now the only we could pop that person out for blue, so it has better spacing. Likewise shark, right? You can go in and out. The idea is hopefully we have some better spacing. um, Ideally that might work. I don't know if it will, but hopefully they'll get the motion and we can go from there. All right. We can give me your thoughts and feedback later.